researchers and engineers of Tsinghua University, under its initiated joint IPv4/IPv6 project, supported by Chinese government, have developed a platform called BGPWatch. This platform gives a full landscape and analyzing view of BGP routing by displaying the bidirectional routing path between the autonomous systems, the incidents about route hijacking, the identity of the victims and the attackers, the hijacking statistics, the routing topology, and many other features. With the support of EPNIC IC project called Developing a Collaborative BGP Routing Analyzing and Diagnosing Platform, this system has been further developed by Tsinghua team based on the technical advice and experiences provided by the 17 NREN partners, including ARNet, APAN-JP, BDREN, CERNet, DOST-ST, ARNet, HARNet, ITB, CREONet, LEARN, MyREN, NREN, PERN, REANS, SINGEREN, THIREN, and Transpec. This is an initiative of step-by-step demonstration of the available features in the developed platform of BGPWatch. The question comes whether BGP is a safe protocol in routing the traffic to the desired destination. The answer is both yes and no. Many different ways have been devised out to make the BGP routing safe and secured. However, there is route hijacking in BGP, which makes it sometimes vulnerable. So, how does it happen? Each administrator needs to advertise the network prefixes, a combination of IP addresses assigned by the RIRs like EPNIC, for other BGP players to identify the devices configured under its administration. In doing so, if an administrator intentionally or unintentionally advertises a prefix which is not assigned by the RIRs, then it's called route hijacking or BGP hijacking. If we compare it to the road traffic system, it's like placing an incorrect exit in a highway, resulting in all the traffic destined towards the wrong direction. This is a very common phenomenon but can result in a severe disaster. We're all aware that a few years back, when an ISP inadvertently advertised a YouTube prefix, all of the YouTube traffic started rushing towards the ISP servers, causing the latter to crash. The fallout was YouTube went offline for hours, resulting in not only a huge loss for YouTube, but also a massive discontent among the netizens. In BGPWatch platform, we can monitor all the past and ongoing BGP hijacking events. Now, let's check out this portal. In your browser, you can put the URL of this portal. The URL to this portal is bgpwatch.cgtf.net. So this is our homepage of this portal. First of all, we are going to register and log into this portal. On the top right corner, you'll see a button called Register. Click on this Register button and you'll see 4 fields to fill out: your username, password, confirm password, then your email address. Let me put my username as username X. Then a password, let's put a secure password. Then confirm my password. Then the email address. Let's consider this is our email address and this is our filled out form. Click on this register button and you can see that the registration is successful. Click OK to get out of this pop-up window. Now that my registration is complete, I have to confirm my registration by clicking on this link that has been sent to my email address. Let me check my email. And here we can see that we have an email from sec@cgtf.net. and this is the link to verify our email address. Click on this link and you'll be redirected to the portal again. You can see that with my username X, I have logged into my account. So this is the process of registering yourself and logging into this portal. You can also sign out from this system by clicking on this sign out button, and also log in manually with your username and password. Username X and our password. Click login, and you can see that I have logged in with my username and password. So that concludes our registration and login session. Now that I have logged into this system, let's check out this home page. In the home page, you'll find an input field for selecting your preferred time zone and a date range picker calendar. Depending on the range selected on this calendar, you'll see a statistical information about the BGP hijacking events and information about the hijacked victims and attackers. Here, you'll find two pie charts expressing the name of the attackers and victims' countries or regions. This is an interactive chart. You can click on this legend to show or hide statistics of any of these countries. Let me click on this unknown button. This hides the statistics from unknown countries and regions, and the rest of the figures of the countries are automatically redistributed in this pie chart. You can click on this expand button to enlarge this section for a better view. And on the right, we have IPv4 and IPv6 prefix bar chart, where along the x-axis we have the prefix length and along the y-axis we have the hijacking event counts. You can see that if I hover my mouse on top of this /24 prefix in the selected time period from 11th of September to 21st of September 2023, you can observe that there are 145 BGP hijacking events for the /24 prefix. So this is the statistical information of the hijacking events for IPv4 prefix. And at the bottom, we have the similar information of hijacking events for IPv6. Again, you can click on this expand button for enlarging this section for a better view. In the middle, we have a distribution bubble map of victims and attackers. Here, it is a global map for the countries or regions where the number of victims and attackers are portrayed. The green bubbles are showing the victims, and the red bubbles are denoting the attackers. The violet lines with animations of directions are showing the hijack path from the attackers to the victims. If you hover your mouse, you can see that the attacker here is the United States and the hijacking event count is 75. And here you can see that Canada is the victim here and the hijacking event count is 5. And this violet line is showing the attacking directions. You can click on this expand button to pop this window up, and for a little bit of enlargement, you can also click on this plus or minus sign to zoom in or zoom out this map. So this map shows us the BGP hijacking events that's been going on different regions of the world. And at the bottom left, you can see that there is a pie chart for the possible hijack, ongoing possible sub-hijack, ongoing possible hijack, and possible sub-hijack. Here you can see the possible hijack count for the selected time period is 152, ongoing possible sub-hijack count is 65, ongoing possible hijack is 22, and possible hijack count is 2. At the right, here you can see there is a line graph of the day-wise event count of possible hijack, possible sub-hijack, ongoing possible sub-hijack, ongoing possible hijack, and all of these event counts in a line graph. Here you can see along the x-axis we have the dates, and along the y-axis we have the count of these events. If you click on these legends, you can hide or unhide any of these lines. If you click on any of these lines, you can see that for a particular day or a particular time, there are 13 possible hijack, 0 possible sub-hijack, 0 ongoing possible sub-hijack, and 0 ongoing possible hijack, and total number is 13. So all of this information provides us about the statistical information and an overview of the BGP hijacking events that's been going on all over the world. And that's all for this homepage section. Now, let's move into the overview section. The overview section shows the global hijacking event count in a bar chart at a configurable time period. The bar chart shows the possible hijacking events, the possible sub-hijacking events, and combining all of these events for the last 12 months. Here you can see along the x-axis we have the name of months, and along the y-axis we have the count of the events. The bars are denoted by the colors shown in this legend. The blue one shows the possible hijack, the green one shows the possible sub-hijack, and the yellow shows both of these events. You can filter and change this bar chart in two ways. First of all, the time duration. You can filter for the statistics of last 7 days, or last 30 days, or last 12 months, or for the years like 2022, 2023, or all of this data. You can also change the periodicity of the bar chart. You can click on daily to view the possible daily hijacking events. You can also select as weekly, monthly, and also yearly. The data in this bar chart are being shown for the global possible hijacking events. You can also select any country from the drop-down menu. Or you can toggle to the AS number mode to search with your desired AS number statistics. Let's consider we want to show a particular country or region's BGP hijacking data. Let's select Asia, then Bangladesh. Here you can see that the bar chart shows the possible hijacked victim, the possible sub-hijacked victim, the possible hijack attacker, possible sub-hijacked attacker, all of the victims, and all of the attacker count along the y-axis, and the periodicity like daily, weekly, or monthly, or yearly along the x-axis, which we can change it from here. Now, if you click on any of these graph legends, you can hide or show any of the information in this graph. You can also save this information as CSV by clicking on this Download Data CSV button. Here you can see that the data has been downloaded. Now, if you hover your mouse on top of any of these bars, you can see that the number of all attackers in Bangladesh region for March 2022 is 19. You can also hover down your mouse here and you can see the victim count in March 2022 is 6. As you can see, there are two information in the same bar. If you want to go into details of this bar, you can just click on this bar and you will get details for the month of March. For example, here are 12 months, and if you go into the detailed statistics for the month of March, you'll see 4 weeks for the statistics of month March. As you can see, the format has changed to weekly format. And if you click on this weekly chart, the week 10 will be expanded into a day-wise format of that week. As you can see, this has been shown in the day-wise or daily events. Now, if you want to go into more details of any particular date, for example, here we have events in the month of March 2022, you can simply hover your mouse on top of any of these bars and you can click on the link Go to Anomaly. Details of the anomaly part will be covered in our next session. And that concludes our overview section. Now, let's check out the anomaly section. In the anomaly section, you'll be able to see a table that displays the information about the BGP hijacking events going on all over the world. This table shows you the information about the event types. It can either be a possible hijack, a possible sub-hijack, ongoing possible hijack, and ongoing possible sub-hijack. You can also see the level of harms. It can either be low, middle, or high. You can see the event information like the victim's AS name and number, and the hijacker's AS name and number, the number or the count of prefixes that has been hijacked, the prefix that has been hijacked, the start time, and the end time if the hijacking has been ended, the duration of the hijacking event provided both the start time and end time are there, and a link to the details of the hijacking event. You can also filter this event by event type. Let's consider we want to see the information only on the possible hijacking events with a high level of harm. Let's select high as the harm level. Then the time zone. Let's consider it GMT+6. Then the time period. Let's consider it for the month of January. So let's select January 1st to January 31st. Let's hit OK. You can also add more filtering, like if you want to filter on the criterion for possible hijacking events having a duration of more than 3 minutes, you can simply click on this toggle button. You can see the duration has gone greater than 3 minutes. You can also search on this table. This will provide you with a wider array of filtering, like you can filter with the AS number, country or AS name. Let's say we'll search for a country. So we'll search with the string TR. Then we'll be able to see the records containing the only string TR. That means the information about the Turkey on this table. Also, if you click on this value of the number of prefix column, you can see that the system shows the list of the prefixes or the sub-prefixes that has been hijacked. There is a download button. You can download all of this information in CSV format by clicking on this download button. You can further analyze this information in your own way from this CSV. Now, let's move into the details of these events. Let's click this event. Here, you'll be able to see the hijacking event details. This page shows you the information about the victim AS and the hijacker AS, the victim country and the hijacker country, the victim description and the hijacker description, the normal prefix, the start time of the hijacking event and the end time of the hijacking event, the time zone, and the duration of this total hijacking events. This system is also showing us the prefix information, that means the prefix that has been hijacked, and the websites under these prefixes. Next, we can move into the event review section. In this section, you will find the information about the reverse routing path of the victim and the hijacker during the hijacking event in a time-stamped manner. Here, you can use this slider to move into different timestamps to get this information. You can also press this play button to autoplay this section. As you can see, the system is going to the next timestamps automatically. You can pause the play button and go to the start of this event. In this example here, as you can see, this part is showing the reverse routing path of the victim is 20738. If we go to the next timestamp, we can see that this section is also showing the reverse routing path of the victim is 20738. It is also showing the traffic from these ASs are going towards the hijacker AS 8075. These ASs failed to find their destination to the AS 20738. The next timestamps are showing the change in the reverse routing path in different time frame. If we go to the last timestamp, this is the reverse routing path of the victim AS after the hijacking event has finished. If you hover your mouse on top of any of these AS numbered nodes, the system will show you the information about the AS number, AS name, country, and the organization name. At the right side of the event review section, you will find the comment section. You can check whether the hijacking event is intentional or by mistake from the site users' comments and voting. Here, users can see the acceptance and the reject ratio in a pie chart. The users can add comment and place accept or reject vote by clicking on this add comment button. If you click on this add comment button, you can vote as accept or reject and put your own comment in here, like this is a hijacking event. Click OK, and this comment will be visible to the global site users. As you can see, the pie chart is also changed to the acceptance test. And that's all for this anomaly section. The dashboard section provides information about the ASS. First of all, there is a search option where you can put your desired AS number. Let's consider you want to put the AS number as 25. Put 25, hit search. As you can see, it will show you the information about the AS number 25. The AS number 25 belongs to the University of California at Berkeley. Let's consider we want to show the information about the AS number 4538. Put 4538 and hit search. Then it will show us the information about the AS number 4538. The AS dashboard section is comprised of 3 tabs: the basic, the IPv4 peers, and the IPv6 peers. Based on your search, you'll find the AS number, the country or region of that AS number, the AS name, SARnet, and the AS organization. Then, below that, you'll be able to find the IPv4 prefix count of SARnet. Here you can see a line graph with a day-wise prefix count of the last 7 days. It also shows the minimum and the maximum count of IPv4 prefix that has been originated by SARnet. Here you can see the maximum count of IPv4 prefix is 5229 and the minimum is 5213. Besides that, the IPv4 address size is shown, which is also a similar line graph. This shows the day-wise count of /24 prefixes originated by SARnet for the last 7 days. The maximum /24 address size here is 166,238 and the minimum count is 163,413. At the right side of that, you'll be able to find the IPv6 prefix count and the IPv6 address size or /48 prefixes count, which shows the similar information that are displayed in the line graphs of IPv4. Also, you'll find a bar chart on IPv4 prefix count. Along the y-axis, you'll be able to find the count of the prefix, and along the x-axis, you'll be able to find the prefix length. As you can see, for /20 prefix originated from SARnet, the count of the prefix is 1246. The similar information is shown in the IPv6 section in a similar bar chart. Proving further, you'll see the highest or tallest bar here is /32, where the prefix count is 130. Below to that bar chart, at the bottom of this page, you'll be able to find a table that shows the IP prefix list that have originated from the selected AS. Here, you can filter this list with your selected bars available in the bar chart above. Let's say, for example, if you select /20 from this bar chart, you'll be able to see the list of /20 prefixes in this list. As you can see, the total number of /20 region prefix is 1246. And if you click on this IPv6 bar chart, let's say in /32, you can find that there is 130 prefixes of /32 notation is shown. You can also toggle this table into all mode by clicking on this toggle button. You will observe that the table or the list is being replaced with all of the IPv4 and IPv6 prefixes of all length with a count of 5,524 prefixes originated from the AS 4538 or SARnet. You can also apply search on this table. Let's say, for example, if you want to search a specific IP address 59. something, it will show you the list of IP prefixes which contains 59. something. All of these listed prefixes are hyperlinked, and if you click on any of these prefixes, you'll be redirected to the reverse routing path topology page of that prefix, which we will cover in details in our routing path section. And that's all for our dashboard basic tab. Now let's move to the IPv4 peers tab. In this tab, you'll find a connectivity diagram of IPv4 BGP neighbors of your selected AS. Let's search for 63961. Hit search. Here you can see that the AS63961 has different types of BGP neighbors. We have provider, peer, customer, and unknown. You'll find that the blue ones are denoting the providers. So here is 132602 and 17494 are the providers to the AS63961. We have peers denoted by the color orange, and you can see that the AS9885 is a peer to the AS63961. We have customers denoted by the color yellow and is displayed in many yellow colored nodes, like AS136004 is a customer to the AS63961. We also have one unknown neighbor, 139931 to the AS63961. Here we can see that there are two types of lines. The pink colored lines are denoting the exports and the blue ones are denoting the imports. As shown, AS63961 is exporting or advertising its prefixes to its providers and peers. And the blue lines are denoting the imports. Here AS63961 is importing the advertised prefixes from its customers and peers. You can see on top of each line there is a number. This number denotes the number of prefixes that the AS63961 is importing from or exporting to. As you can see, the AS63961 is exporting or advertising 76 prefixes to the AS17494, and for the peers, it's both importing and exporting. It's importing 18,804 prefixes from the AS9885, and also it is exporting 52 prefixes to the AS9885. Now, on the right side, you can see there are 4 pie charts. These 4 pie charts show the top 10 IPv4 providers for the AS63961 based on the number of imported plus exported prefixes. The second one shows the top IPv4 peers. The third one shows the top 10 IPv4 customers, and the last one shows the peer country distribution. Like before, these pie charts are also interactive, where you can click on any of these legends to show or hide any of this information from the pie chart. In the bottom, you will find a table that shows the BGP neighbors as numbers, organization, country or region, as customer count, the relationship with the neighbor, the number of prefixes that your selected ASN is exporting, and the number of prefixes that your selected ASN is importing. You can also filter this table by clicking on these checkboxes. If you want to show only the provider information, then check on the provider checkbox. If you want to show all of the neighbors information, just click on all to show all of the BGP neighbors of the selected AS. As you can see, each of this row is showing the BGP neighbors information. Here, the AS number is 9885, the organization is National Knowledge Network, the country or region of that AS is India, the AS customer count is 83, the relationship is peer to the AS63961, the number of export is 52, and the number of import is 18,804. Now, let's go to the IPv6 peers tab. On the IPv6 peers tab, this platform shows the similar type of information as shown in the IPv4 peer, except the BGP neighbors are the IPv6 neighbors here. As you can see, there are providers, peers, customers, and unknown, same as IPv4. You'll find similar types of 4 pie charts with the similar types of table with filtering facilities as shown in the IPv4 tab. So that sums up the dashboard section. Now check out the routing path section. BGP uses both forward and reverse routing paths to determine the best path to take for the data packets to reach their destinations. Routing path section is actually comprised of 4 subsections: the routing path, the reverse routing path topology, and the bi-routing path. First, let's cover the routing path. In the routing path option, you'll have to select the entrance or similar type of organizations as the source from the buttoned list up here. You can select the APAN-JP, BDUREN, SERNet, HARNet, ITV, CREONet, LEARN, MyREN, NREN, PERN, REANS, SINGEREN, THIREN, and TRANSPAC as our source. And for our destination, we can put any prefix or IP address in this search bar. Let's consider APAN-JP as our source, and for our destination IP address or prefix, we're putting 165.124.0.0/16. If we hit search, we can see that the system is returning all the subnetworks and supernetworks of our input prefix. The networks have different length like /17, /19, /20 or /21, which are shown on the left. This illustrates the fine-grained routing feature. The left shows that some networks share the same routing path and they're grouped with the same color. If you click on this same colored block of prefixes, it will show you the path for the first IP block. And if you click on this second block, the path for the second block will be shown here. Now, if you want to search with an IPv6 address, you can input an IPv6 address as well. Let's consider we want to see a forward path of the prefix shown in this example. Let's copy and paste it in here. We can see that here the system is also returning the subnetworks and supernetworks of this /32 input prefix. We have /40, /35, /32, /40, etc. So if we click on this any of these colored nodes, this shows the first colored block. This is the second colored block for this path. This shows the third colored block, and this shows the fourth colored block. And that concludes our routing path section. In the reverse routing path tab, you will have to put an input prefix or IP address in the field up here and hit search. The system will search the best matched prefix for your input and show you the reverse BGP routing tree of the prefix that you're giving. Let's consider the prefix 103.28.120.0/22 and hit search. As shown, the system is displaying the output. So this is the reverse routing tree for this prefix. In most cases, this is going to be a very large tree, but you can scroll left or right to view the full tree. You can also click on this tree to view it as an image. You can zoom in, zoom out, or save it as an image. In this example, as you can see, the prefix 103.28.120.0/22 is under the AS63961, and the AS63961 is advertising this prefix to the AS17494, then to the AS132602, then to the AS9885, and then these three ASs are advertising this prefix to their upstream, and so on. And so this is how the tree has been formed. Now let's move to the reverse routing path topology. This subsection gives us the same information as the reverse routing path, but this is shown in a more concise space and a topological format. Same as the reverse routing path, it takes an IP address or prefix as an input, and the system will search for the best matched topology to reach the prefix from the outside world. Let's consider the prefix 103.28.120.0/22. Let's hit search. As you can see, the system has returned a complete reverse routing tree for the input prefix 103.28.120.0/22. In this graph as displayed, the nodes are actually the AS numbers. They are in different colors and in different size. At the bottom right corner, you'll find a legend for the color codes. The red ones are denoting the layer 0, as you can see, which is for your searched prefix, and the AS number that advertises the prefix. The layer 1 is denoted by the color orange. The layer 3 is denoted by the green colors. Layer 4 is in the cyan color, and the layer 5 is in blue colors. Now, if you want to see a reverse path from a node to the searched prefix 103.28.120.0/22, let's consider this node 139589. Click on this node and you can see that the system is showing a reverse routing path from the node AS139589 to the AS212123, then to the AS6939, then AS132602, then to our destination AS63961, to our prefix 103.28.120.0/22. You can also plot the reverse routing path for the selected prefix from a desired AS number via searching. Let's consider we want to put AS3170 to the selected prefix 103.28.120.0/22. Put the AS number 3170 in the search bar at the top right corner and hit search. This will plot a reverse routing path from the AS3170 to our prefix 103.28.120.0. You can also modify this graph by hiding this path up to the layer or show any layer back again. You can do this by clicking on these legends. If you click on this layer 5, the layer 5 nodes will be removed. And if you click on this again, the layer 5 nodes will be added again. But if you click on this layer 2 legends, all the layers up to layer 2, that is layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, will be removed. You can click on these layers one by one to bring them back. Also, you can click on the remotest layer to get back all the layers on the way to the selected prefix. And that concludes the reverse routing path topology subsection. Now, let's move into the by routing path submenu. In the by routing path submenu of the routing path section, you can find the forward and reverse routing path from a source and a destination IP address or prefix. The left and right IP address in the input field can either be IPv4 or IPv6. This is very much similar to the subsection routing path, except the routing path is bidirectional here. There is a search box at the top of this page where you can put an IP address or prefix at the left IP, and at the right you can also put an IP address or prefix in the search field. And this will give you both the forward and reverse routing path. Let's consider a prefix like this one for our source and paste it in here, and this prefix as our destination, and put our right IP in here. If we click on search button, as we can see, from the prefix 2.22.238.0/23 to the prefix 185.193.84/22, the forward AS path is shown in here. And as for the reverse routing path, the AS path is shown in here. The forward path here is the sourced prefix to the AS1299, then to the AS174, then to the AS15935, then to the AS29504, then our destination. But for the reverse section, from our destination to the AS29504, then instead of 15935 we have 39392, then 1299, then our source prefix. So the forward and reverse routing path is actually different for different source and destination. And that concludes the routing path section. Now let's move into the country or region section. Country or region section tries to give a global picture of BGP based on the cone size of each operator. Once you click on this menu of country or region, you'll see that there is a drop-down menu of continents and each continent is holding its countries. Now, if you select any of these countries from this drop-down menu here, you'll see top 100 ASs will be displayed in the graph ranked by their cone size. Let's consider we're selecting Asia as our continent and Japan as our selected country. Let's click Japan. Here you can see that there are different colored nodes. These nodes are colored according to the color schemed legend at the bottom left corner here. They're also enlarged according to their cone size. They're shown in the counterclockwise direction accordance to their rank. The links are shown in the straight lines. The blue ones are indicating the peer-to-customer link and the orange ones are showing the peer-to-peer connection. And at the top left corner, it shows the information about the total number of A's in the country or region Japan, which is 980, then the A's in the graph, which is 100, then the link in this region, which is 5856, then the link in this graph, which is 452. You can zoom in and zoom out this graph by clicking on this plus and minus sign at the top right side of this graph. You can see that I have zoomed in this graph. Now, if you move into this graph and hover your mouse on top of any of these nodes, you can see that it's showing a AS number of this node and the number of cones that it's holding and a link to go to this dashboard of this AS number. Now, here you can see that this red one is denoted here as the top ranked or first ranked ASN in this region according to its cone size. It has a cone size of 523. Then the second ranked AS here is 17676, named as Giga Infra, which has a cone size of 403. Then the third ranked ASN here is 2516, which has also a cone size of 403. And so on if you move into the counterclockwise direction. You can also view the top 10 ranked AS number with their AS name and their cone size at the right side of this page. Now, if you want to view a cone-wise mapping of a particular AS, you can go into this search bar and put your desired AS number and hit search. Let's consider we want to view 7670 as our desired AS number and we want to show a cone-wise mapping of that AS number. Hit search. And now once again, if you want to filter out this graph by a particular cone number or a range of cone numbers, you can put a regular expression and the system will return you a graph in response to that. For example, if you want to view this graph with the nodes that has only cone number of 15 or higher, then you need to put a third bracket, then 15, then comma, and ends with a first bracket. Hit search, and the system will return only the nodes that has a cone number of 15 or higher than 15. And that concludes this country or region section. Now, let's move into the subscribe section. For subscribe section, you have to log in using your authorized credentials. In this section, you can find AS details based on the subscription that you have added. There is a search bar here with a toggle button. Firstly, when the subscribe ASN is selected on the toggle button, in the search bar you can input an AS expression to add one or more ASs. For example, if you put a third bracket, comma 1, comma 10, third bracket end, and click on this subscribe button, you can see that all the ASs from AS1 to 10 have been added to this subscription. Now, if you want to delete any of this subscription, you can just click on this cross sign and the subscription will be removed. Now if you want to subscribe to a particular ASN, let's consider 63961. Hit the subscribe button and it will add this particular ASN number to your subscription. And if you want to add more than one ASN, just click and put a comma and the AS number and then click on this subscribe button. It will add all these ASNs to your subscription. But what does this subscription do? Well, you can see that there are 4 tabs that provides 4 types of information: prefix change, hijack, AS peer change, and AS path change. The first 3 tabs work for subscribe ASN mode, and the last one means the AS path change only works for the subscribe prefix mode, which we will cover in details later. Now, when you subscribe to a particular ASN, you will find that the prefix change tab is showing you the similar type of information like the dashboard. We have the ASN, the country or region, the AS name, organization, IPv4 prefix count in a line graph, and IPv6 prefix count in a line graph for the last 7 days. As you can see, for the subscribed AS number 3, there is a prefix change. That's why here is the alarm button appeared in this section. There is a prefix change from 147 to 148 to 149 here. That's why the prefix added here is 2 and prefix removed is 1. If you click on this alarm button, you can find that these prefixes have been added and this prefix has been removed. The hijack tab is similar to the anomaly section shown earlier. In this tab, you will find the information if there is any hijacking event for your subscribed prefix. Here you can see that it's showing no data. So there is no hijacking event for this subscribed prefix for this selected time period. Now, the AS peer change tab. This tab shows the information about any change of peers for the ASs that you have subscribed from your account. This shows the information about the daily AS peer count in a line graph for the last 30 days. It also shows the directly paired ASNs below to that graph. Now, the AS path change tab. This tab only works in the subscribe prefix mode. If you click on this toggle button, it will be changed from subscribe ASN to subscribe prefix mode, and a new input field for prefix subscription will appear at the right. In this mode, you can key in an ASN and a prefix in pair to subscribe and view the AS path and any change in the last 7 days in this tab. So let's consider putting 174 as our preferred AS number, and let's put 103.28.120.0/22 for our prefix. Let's click subscribe and it says success. So this tab shows the information on any change in the AS path for the subscribed ASN and subscribed prefix. The paired subscribed ASNs are listed on the left side and the subscribed prefixes are tabbed on the right. The system shows the AS path and information for the last 7 days. So overall, the system monitors the ASs and the prefixes that you're subscribed to. It also sends alert message via email with which you are logged into the system in case of any prefix change, hijack, AS peer change or AS path change. And that's all for this subscribe section.